Hey everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build we went sci-fi when we built the Lawgiver from Judge Dredd. And if you missed that build, we're going to include the link in the description below to our channel's homepage so you can go over there and check out Lawgiver or any of the other super cool builds we have there. Now for this build, we're actually going to stay sci-fi again. This is like the third sci-fi in a row. So without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you to the newest member of the family. Yeah, it can't even fit on the camera, it's so huge. Look at that thing. It's Megaman Sword. Wow, cool. And you can use it. You can stick your hand in there and grab the handle and you can whoosh. Very cool stuff. Really simple build too, really just kind of four pieces. The blade, this outer body thing here, these cuffs on both sides, and this cool beveled bottom piece here. Kind of big, kind of chunky, and we had to do a lot of hand work on here, but it turned out pretty cool. And it's super fun and super easy. So in this episode, making an EVA foam Megaman Sword Part 1, we're going to begin going step by step through how to make it. And if you want to build along with us, we have a template. So we'll include the link in the description below for our storefront also, so you can go and grab a template if you want. We're done, just chill out. Alright, so if you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Alright, here we go. We got these two really long pieces of foam. We've got a 6mm and we've got a 12mm, and we're going to be stacking those up to create our blade. And we're going to be putting a support in the middle of the blade, okay? So we're going to take these two pieces and we're going to get ready to stick them together. Okay, what we did is we transferred our template over. There's our blade right there, really huge. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming in with this 3/16 of an inch metal rod. All right, and we're going to bend it because we're going to make a support for the inside. Okay, now what we did is we measured the whole length of our rod and we put a Sharpie mark right here in the middle because that's where we want to bend it first. All right, there we go. Now we're just going to keep bending it. See that? It's pretty flexible. Nice, not bad. Now we're going to lay this down on here because this is going to come way up to the front here. Actually, we can probably come a little bit back, like maybe to here. Bend it like that. All right, because it's going to come down and over, and then we're going to bend it again this way. Okay, let's try that. All right, there we go, perfect, and it's going to stick out of the end. Now we're going to go over to the other side and we're going to bend it in the exact same spots. So that's probably right about there. All right, we are looking pretty darn good. We're going to have it sticking out like about that. All right. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to hold this in place. We're going to trace around our rod. That's it. Now we've got our guideline for where we're going to Dremel to create our trench for our metal support. Okay, we're going to put in our round bit. All right, let's see. This is going to go in here. Ooh. All right, I think we're in good shape. We might even be able to go over it one more time just to get it a tad deeper, and then we'll be good. Okay, now what we're going to do is just come through here and we're going to peel all of the crispy edges off, because that's what happens when you're using the Dremel. The bit gets super hot, and even we just want to pull all the crispy edges off all the way around. Okay, just like that. So that when we stick the other piece down on top of it, it goes down smoothly. And that's it. Just take your time, go around the whole thing. All right, there we go. See that? That's a ton of little crispy edges, and just peel them all off, and that way this is a nice smooth edge for when we stick our other piece of foam on top of it. All right, now our support is going to need to stick out of the bottom of this piece, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to make these two cuts. Right there. Just like that. We're going to do the same thing here. All right, there we go. Now we've got the bottom end cut off. So when we come in and we put our support in place, it's going to stick out of the bottom like that, which is what we want, because these two pieces are going to go into the rest of the body. All right. Now that we've got these cut out, we're going to come through and we're just going to make all of the straight cuts. And do not go fast. You don't want to jump the tracks and take your thumb off. That would not be good. All right, there we go. There's our edge cut off all the way around. We've got our partial bottom cut done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with the other piece of foam, this great big 6mm piece, but we're going to transfer this same outer template over to that 6mm piece so we can line it up and stick it down. Okay, here we go. You've got our matching template transferred over. So we're all right. All right, we're going to tighten this foam up a little bit just to smooth over the surface for our gluing. Makes the gluing just a little bit easier. All right, there we go. Man, that was a ton of cementing, okay? Now, sometimes people like to pour it out and use a big brush, or you can just use your glue pot like I just did. So there's a lot of different ways people do it, but I just took my time and did it. It's not hard. And now you know the drill with contact cement. Coat both sides, wait a few minutes till it dries, and then after it dries, it can make contact. All right, there we go. Now we've got our support in place. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to line these bottom edges up. Okay, we've got the edge down. Now we're going to lay it right down. Okay, now as we come down to the end, you notice we made a little bit of a mistake. See that? Our 6mm piece was a little bit too short, so we're going to have to shorten our blade just about a ½ inch, but no one will ever know. Okay, there we go. Look at that, man. That is a huge blade with our supports in it. All right, now this was one of our first patterns we did, but since then we adjusted it for this window to be a little bit shorter at the front. Okay, now we're going to shorten the end of our sword like we talked about, just about a ½ inch. Since we've got this support embedded in there, nowhere around the outside of this thing that we cut are we in danger of hitting this metal support. Okay, so we're in good shape. So we're going to go over to the scroll saw and the band saw and we're going to cut this out. All right, now actually we're going to stop. We started to cut our blade, but we forgot. We have to stick these pieces down. Whew, we just caught it in time. There we go. There's our... Okay, now we're going to come in. We're going to line up with the front of here. We're going to put it right there. And then we're going to come back in with our template. Okay, there's one on that side. There we go. All right, now we're gonna make those 2 cuts on the bandsaw, and we can lay those right over the top, just like that. Perfectly lined up with the edge, just like that. All right, now we're gonna lay our template back on here. All right, there's our cuts right there. Perfect. Now we're just gonna take these matching pieces and stick them on the other side. All right, there we go. We've got our 8mm pieces on both sides. Now we've got a super thick sandwich here. Now we're gonna go over to the bandsaw and the scroll saw and start cutting out. Okay, check it out. There it is. There's the blade. Look at that, man. That is sweet. Hot dog. Look at that thing. And we got these cool little raised sections here on the side, on both sides. That's a little bit raggedy on some of the edges because it was kind of hard to like wrangle this thing through the bandsaw and the scroll saw, because when you're turning it, the blade's so long, we had to move all kinds of stuff out of the way so it could spin around, go in at it from a couple different directions, clean out inside here with the bandsaw blade. So now what we're gonna do, and it's sturdy, man. This thing is really sturdy because it's got metal in it. It's not flopping around. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in with the Dremel. We're gonna round the edges of these raised pieces off on both sides. We're gonna try to round the tip up here, get it kind of clean. I'm not sure how we're gonna do that, but we're gonna work on these 2 sections next just to get them all rounded off. So, mask on. Okay, there we go. We softened up all the edges. All right, now we're gonna get out our smooth bit. We're gonna clean that up. All right, now we're gonna come in with our 80 grit sandpaper just to clean up some of the bandsaw marks. All right, we're going to come in with our 220. All right, not bad. All right, now we're gonna start shaping the blade. Okay, so what we did was we took the inner piece of our blade template and we drew our inside line all the way around on both sides. And then what we also did was we came through and we drew a center mark for our blade all the way around. All right, so what we're gonna do, you've seen us do this before, we're gonna come in and we're gonna Dremel. All right, we're gonna Dremel from
this line up to the peak, making a taper. And then when we're done, we're going to flip it over to this side and Dremel from here to the peak. So we're going to have like a nice point all the way around our blade. All right, so. All right, there we go. Check it out. We've got a nice taper from the inside line to the center line, all the way around the whole piece. And now we're going to go from this inside cut, and we're going to meet up at the peak, giving us a taper. All right. All right, there we go. There it is. Look at that. Nice. Comes right up to a point right in the middle. It's got the nice bevel on both sides. That's it. Just continue all the way around the whole thing. All right, let's go ahead and get our smooth bit in. Man, this is a total disaster, man. I am like hating this. Look at this. This is just absolutely crazy. All right. Look at that. That is beautiful, man. Nice and tight, sharp point. Now we're just gonna keep doing that all the way around. That is a pretty cool taper blade right there. All right, let's dust it off. Man, this is a mess. We're gonna dust it off, then we're gonna heat seal it. Actually, before we heat seal it, let's come in with our 220. Beautiful. All right, let's seal it. All right, there we go. Nice and tight. That is pretty sharp. Look at that, man. That is a nice taper blade right there. All right, now we're going to begin building the cuff piece that's going to go around our hand. So we're going to come in here with these 48 and 24 millimeter pieces. All right, here we go. We've got our 224s and our 248s. Not bad. Now we're going to clean up in here. Our hand's going to be inside here, so you wouldn't really see this anyway, but we're going to clean this up anyway. All right, check it out. We got two sets. We did two of these 48 millimeter pieces and one of these 24s, and we're going to attach them just like this. It's going to make half of a cuff, and then we're going to do the same thing over here for the other half. All right. All right, here we go. Now we're going to have to try our best to line this outer edge up really tight, and we're going to get this edge real tight. Now we're going to have to try to push the rest of it down into place. Not bad. Look at that. All right, we're flush all the way around there. Sweet. That's why it's so cool to work with foam. If it's off a hair, you can make it fit perfectly, just like that. All right. All right, now we'll get this edge lined up. Beautiful. All right. Do these three now. All right, sweet. There it is right there, two of them. Okay, so now we're going to take these 2 millimeter pieces of foam and we're going to wrap these pieces we made. So we took an extra piece of 2 millimeter foam and we did a test wrap just to get our proper length, so we know that this is the proper length. All right, perfect. right, there we go. Look at that. Now it's nice and smooth. No creases in the middle. Beautiful. All right, look at that. Man, that's nice. I love when the surface smooths over like that. That's really cool. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing on this piece. All right, there's two of them. That is really cool. All right, now we're going to round off these two top edges right here. Now we're going to put our smooth bit in. Now we'll come in with our 220 sanding stick. All right, now our 320. Okay, now we've got these simple little 3mm pieces. All right, there we go. And we've got our marks made. Our center. Right there. And right there. There we go. Now, before we attach those, we're going to slightly round the edge of these off, real slight. All right, now we're going to bring this piece in. Now, we have this little edge right here. So this little trench on both sides is going to sit right on this little trench right here. All right. Let's line up at the back edge right here. All right, there we go. With that. Line it up at the back here, which we have perfectly lined up flush at the back, there and there. And then this part goes down. All right, good contact all the way around. Wow, that is really cool. Okay, here's a 6mm piece of foam. And we just cut a little strip. It's basically going to go around our knuckles, okay, just like this. All right, that's all we want. And we're going to attach this up on the inside of here. So when we reach in, we've got this little loop to grab. All right. There we go. Okay, we don't want the handle this way. We want it this way, sideways, so that our hand goes in like this. Okay, so. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to feed it in. Push in there. All right, there we go. Now you reach in. And you got a strap in there to hold on to. That's pretty cool. Not the greatest, but it's good enough.
Whoa, there you go. We almost got the whole thing built. We've got our blade assembled with our support on the inside. We tapered the edges of the blade. We got this layered up big body piece done. We've got shaped our bullet stuff, which was a ton of shaping, but it was not hard. And of course we have the metal supports inside our body sticking out of the end. And completed our two cuffs. So the handle's in there, the thing's almost ready to go. That's it. You saw it. It was pretty easy, kind of big, but easy. So that concludes making an EVA foam Megaman Sword Part 1. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.